centuries ago, there was this notion that came out. It's called manners. You may have noticed these days a lot of people don't have manners or human consideration for the next person. Manners were a big deal centuries ago because it raised you a level above heathens. And in some cultures, having manners meant that you believed in God. Meant that you were a God-fearing person. If you didn't have manners, people considered you a heathen. So these days you may notice when you're walking, people have no consideration. They'll walk right in front of you, they'll run into you, or they'll do things like stand and stare at you till you try to, like you're supposed to read their mind and figure out what they need or want, or they'll go out of their way to do disrespectful. And sometimes you can say, hey, maybe they don't know any better, but you gotta kind of give a little assumption to the fact that you've been somewhere where you had to show some decency, respect, and manners for another human being. I mean, just come on, whether it's another country, whether it's your workplace, whether it's, public transportation, either way, you've had to show this before. So obviously people just don't care. That's why it's always important for us as people who know manners, believe in manners, to continuously extend those to others. Say thank you, please, you're welcome, pardon me, excuse me. Because if we're not doing that, we're lowering our human standard and we're making ourselves heathens. You don't just walk by someone and grunt, or you don't just stand by someone and grunt, stand and stare at them or bump into them and don't say anything. We're never in that much of a hurry, and there's never that much stuff going on to where you can't say, excuse me, pardon me, thank you, you're welcome, hello, how are you? Can I help you with that? Simple things. And if you expect that same respect or that same human decency of manners, you gotta give it. And another thing that comes from that notion of manners is sometimes when someone is hostile, whether it's in an altercation, a verbal altercation, physical altercation, sometimes it's those very manners that stops things from going a step further or becoming worse. Sometimes it's the, I'm sorry, pardon me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, giving human recognition to the fact that that person is there. Because a lot of times when things arise in the human condition and existence, it's because people feel unacknowledged. They feel like someone's not paying attention to them. They feel like someone didn't consider them. And not that anyone has to, but it's just nice and decent to know that someone would think of themselves as they would think of others, do unto others as it's common sense. Although it seems like these days common sense isn't that common. Respect doesn't matter anymore, and manners don't matter that much anymore. So if one point in time in history it meant you were a heathen, what does it mean today? Fight for your life.